Alabama at Oklahoma, Friday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central kickoff on ABC. This game happened a month ago in Tuscaloosa. That was a very memorable weekend. If you'll recall, that was a game I was ultra confident on. Bama, I think, was about a 5.5-point favorite or so. Again, that game was in Tuscaloosa. This one's in Norman. Bama's still favored by 1.5 on the road here. But remember, that was the game where I felt ultra confident. The model felt ultra confident. I think we had Alabama projected as like a 9.5 or a 10.5 point winner. So we made it one of our best bets of the week. And you'll be happy to know that Alabama outgained OU 406 to 212. It's great news. They had a 23-12 first down edge. That's fantastic. And yet, oh, wait, I'm hearing they still lost the game 23-21. How could that be? Oh, I remember. There were -3 turnovers, or OU was +3 turnovers. I say it that way because sometimes turnovers are freak occurrences. And while it is a randomized stat game to game, there was nothing random or accidental about how Oklahoma forced turnovers in that game. And I also remember a lot of other interceptable balls that Ty Simpson was made to throw. And I remember other balls just on the ground that OU happened to not recover. So it could have been even worse. I mean, they put on a clinic, just teach tape stuff from Oklahoma's defense on how to punch the ball out. I think they forced one on a punt return too, if I'm not mistaken, with Ryan Williams. So, yeah, Oklahoma went into Tuscaloosa knowing we're really limited offensively and we're going to have to play a complimentary game and we're going to have to win this game defensively, and they did it. And they did it. So the biggest theme from that game as we roll it over into this game is the reason why we were confident in Alabama. Because any high-level passing attack that Oklahoma had faced to that point, i.e. Ole Miss and Tennessee, had been able to throw for 320 plus, I think it was. And we expected Alabama to do the same, and Alabama did do the same. They had 326 through the air. What did it come at the expense of? Turnovers. So that's where I think we should start here. Should we expect that kind of production? Because I know this piece of paper, playoff games not played on these, but this piece of paper says Alabama's got the number 23 passing offense in the country. I don't believe that. I don't know that I would call the current passing attack that Alabama's been putting on the field as one of the 25 best in the country. I think a lot of that is front-loaded statistically to where, yes, over the span of 12 games, they were that. But you got a long way to go to sort of pull the stick back up, pull the nose back up before you're operating at the kind of efficiency level that you were against Oklahoma the first time. Now, if they are back to those ways, then Alabama's got a good shot to win this game. Ty Simpson early bears close watching here. Because if Ty Simpson's had off games, it hasn't been in the second half, third quarter, fourth quarter. It's been early. You can tell pretty early. And Oklahoma will get after him more than Georgia did, and Georgia got after him. So that really goes back to the whole health thing with Alabama. Firstly, how much of Ty Simpson do we get? Secondly, Parker Brailsford at the center position. How much have these couple of weeks down between the SEC title game and this game helped him? But the running back position is key here. Not just their health in terms of being able to scratch out 70 or so yards on the ground, but receiving the ball, catching the ball out of the backfield. None of that was existent against Georgia. It's got to be here. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, what should I expect from Oklahoma offensively? Hey, do me one favor right here. Look down. Are you subscribed to the channel? If you are, thank you. If you're not, please click subscribe. It helps us keep the show free and free of corporate interference. All right, that's it for me. Back to the clip. Both of these offenses had been very challenged. Alabama down the stretch, Oklahoma pretty much all year after the Mateer injury. The run game probably not going to be there for either one of them. I mean, Oklahoma's got the 63rd rated pass offense in the country right now, and Bama's top 10 in pass D. Oklahoma hadn't run the ball nearly enough effectively. So, they don't profile as a playoff team offensively. Mateer has been under 225 passing 5 of his final 6 games. So, yeah, I could rub the magic 8 ball and I could just wish for them to magically appear out of these 2 or 3 weeks down as a different looking offense. I don't expect that. They did. Now, here's the good news. Mateer did have over 300 through the air against LSU. He threw 3 picks. So I don't know that that's the approach. I don't know that a trigger-happy approach is what either of them will take here. Oklahoma's offensive approach will be complementary to the team approach, just like it was last time. And that is approximately this. If it ends in a kick, then that means it was a successful drive for us. And we're going to get a few opportunities to strike, and when we get them, we got to strike. Because that's exactly what happened last time. Okay, they didn't drive length of the field, but they also knew Bama wasn't going to be able to against them, or at least they didn't think they would. And if they do, they're going to have to take enough risk to where we'll force turnovers. And I'll get back to that in a second, because field position has tilted both of the games Bama has lost down the stretch, and Oklahoma put on a clinic in that department last game as well. So, looking at some practice stuff from Alabama and talking to some people over there, Josh Cuevas is, I think, likely to play in this game. Jam Miller, I think they expect him back for this game. LT Overton, maybe back for this game. We'll see. I know that's been more of a medical thing than an injury thing. Parker Brailsford, he played against Georgia way less than 100%. At center, Jeremy Bernard, kind of hobbling around. So how healthy are they, relatively speaking? John Mateer, with his legs on third down, bears close watching in a game like this where every third down is precious, kind of like an old school game when you used to watch like high-level defensive teams play. Every third down, you celebrate it like it's a touchdown. Every third down conversion to a first down at least. So the field position thing, I think, is the most important part of this. This game that Bama played against them, Oklahoma, and this game Bama played against Georgia in Atlanta did not go their way. Against Oklahoma a month ago, Bama never started a drive past their 30-yard line. Against Georgia last week, they never started a drive past their own 25-yard line. Oklahoma in this game had 4 drives that started in Bama territory. Georgia last week had 3 drives that started in Bama territory, and they scored 21 points on them. They also blocked a punt. Alabama had a punt blocked last week. So that sort of thing, I guess if you have a high-level coaching staff and you're getting guys back healthy, you would think, especially with all the red Sharpie circles around what went wrong for you last time, that maybe that stuff gets quote-unquote cleaned up, the phrase I just love. So let's take a look at what the model thinks. FanDuel's got Bama minus 1.5. Model's got Bama minus 2.5. How many points do you think it takes to win this game? Our guess is 21. 21 or less maybe, but I would say 21 probably. If you tell either one of them, you're going to get that many. I think they feel good about holding the other to less. The over-under is 40.5 here. Look, my instinct is to take Alabama in this game. I've got Alabama winning the national title. Now, of course, that prediction was made months ago, and I don't feel great about that right now. But I actually am going to pick Oklahoma to win the game because I've watched Alabama play this team twice in the past 2 years, and I've watched the things that you would call freak occurrences, randomized outcomes, i.e. turnovers. I've watched Brent Venables and his team able to do that 2 times, and I'm starting to think that maybe it's not so randomized. And I don't know if we're looking at the beginnings of a trend or if those were just sort of a couple of one-offs and Alabama will restore order here. I don't know that, but I've heard rumors of Sooner Magic. I've heard rumblings of Sooner Magic, and I don't want to go as far as to say I totally believe in Sooner Magic, but I will go as far as to say I don't want to bet against it. So I will take Oklahoma to win this game, and I will be in attendance for it no matter what.